वंदा भी बनते, वंदा भी बनते। They are audible.
Come hear me?
Yeah.
Hello.
वंदा भी बनते. Can you hear me?
Hello. Come hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, Bante.
Hello.
Yes, Bante. We can hear you, Bante.
Hello. 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 Hello.
Hello. वंदा भी बनते. Hello.
We can hear you, Bante.
Hello.
Yes, Bante, we can hear you.
Oh, yeah. Just now I can hear you. Sorry. Okay.
Can we start, Bante?
Okay, can start.
Okay. सर्वांनी गुडघ्यावर बसून बंतेंना पंचांग प्रणाम करायचा आहे. बंते, प्लीज accept our 3 votes. 1, 2, 3. Bante, now I will request on all meditators, behalf of all meditators, Ajivatthamakrashila and Shamayachana.
Okay, can start.
Kokas vandami bante dvaratena katam sabam aparadham khamatu me bante dutiyamti okas vandami bante dvaratena katam sabam aparadham khamatu me bante dutiyamti okas vandami bante dvaratena katam sabam aparadham khamatu me bhante. Now I will request for Ajivatthamakrashila. Okasa aham bhante te saranena sa Ajivatthamakrashilam dhammam yachami anugaham katva shilam detame bhante tutiyamti okasa aham bhante te saranena sa Ajivatthamakrashilam dhammam yachami anugaham katva shilam detame bhante tatiyamti okasa aham bhante te saranena sa Ajivatthamakrashilam dhammam yachami anugaham katva shilam detame bhante.
Yamang vanda mitam vandita.
Aham bhante.
Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa.
Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa.
Buddhaṃ saranam gacchāmi, Dhammāṃ saranam gacchāmi, Sanghaṃ saranam gacchāmi.
Buddhaṃ saranam gacchāmi, Dhammam saranam gacchāmi, Sanghaṃ saranam gacchāmi.
Dutiyampi Buddhaṃ saranam gacchāmi, saranang gacchami. Dutiyampi sanghang saranang gacchami.
Dutiyampi buddhang saranang gacchami. Dutiyampi dhammang saranang gacchami. Dutiyampi sanghang saranang gacchami.
Tatiyampi buddhang saranang gacchami. Tatiyampi dhammang saranang gacchami. Tatiyampi sanghang saranang gacchami.
Tatiyampi buddhang saranang gacchami. Tatiyampi dhammang saranang gacchami. Tatiyampi sanghang saranang gacchami.
Tisarana gamanam paripurnam.
Aham bhante.
Continue.
Pranatipata veramani sikkhapadam samadhiyami. Adinnadana veramani sikkhapadam samadhiyami. Kamesu miccachara veramani sikkhapadam samadhiyami. Musavada veramani sikkhapadam samadhiyami. Pisuna vacha veramani sikkhapadam samadhiyami. Parusa vacha veramani sikkhapadam samadhiyami. Samphalappha veramani sikkhapadam samadhiyami. Miccha ajiva veramani sikkhapadam samadhiyami.
Do metta bhavana for all listeners, for all living beings, for all human beings, deva, who are stay in this world in order to free from danger, to be well and happy. We spread the loving kindness, no? Metta, all repeat after me. Sabbe sada
Sabbe satta
avira hondu
avera hontu
abhyabhaja hondu
avyapajya hontu
aniga hondu
aniga hontu
sukhi adana
sukhiyatanam
pariharandu
pariharantu
sabbe deva
sabbe deva
avira hondu
avera hontu
abhyabhaja hondu
avyapajya hontu
aniga hondu
aniga hontu
sukhi adana
sukhiyatanam
pariharantu
pariharantu
sabbe manusa
sabbe manusa
avira hondu
vera hontu
abhyabhaja hondu
avyapajya hontu
aniga hondu
aniga hontu
sukhi adana
sukhiyatanam
pariharantu
pariharantu
idame punyam
nidang me punyam
asavakhayam
asavakayam
vaham hotu
mahang hotu
idame silam
nidang me silam
nibbānasa
nibbanasa
pachayo hotu
priyo hotu
tisarane nasa athenga samanagadam ajiva thamaka silam dhamman sadhukam gatawa apamadena sampadita.
Aham bhante sadhu
Sadhu,
sadhu
sadhu, sadhu.
sadhu sadhu sadhu.
Can we start talk?
Yes, Bhante.
Okay, today 18 September 2021. Meditation retreat, India. The devotee who are staying in India, they start to join meditation retreat today. Okay, already many time the retreat, many courses already. So today at the beginning of the retreat, course requested by Mr. Deepa. Today I will give the short Dhamma talk. A few weeks ago also, he have already invited me for the Dhamma talk. And also almost every day I have Dhamma talk, also some classes almost every day. Because of this, I will adjust the time how I can give the Dhamma talk in suitable time. Today I will give the short Dhamma talk mentioned in Sutta Nipada Pali. The sutta is Rahula Sutta. Before we start our talk, let's pay homage to the Buddha by reciting Namo Tassa 3 times together. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Sama Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Sama Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Sama Sambuddhassa. I will translate this Namo Tassa into the Maya version. Arahato Dathangaya Kilesa Yandu Doma Kendo Mu Dabba Vitado. Arahato Dathangaya Kilesa Yandu Dugo. Aundo Mu Naindo Mu Dato Mu Dabba Vitado. Arahato Lumin Min Vyama Mindu I. Ludam Waya Byasi Libya Nintagwa Ayuade Bujin Alimya Bujin Miwe Jin Siga Chin Ango Ata Bujin Dugu Kando Mudaba Vitado Arahado Sigwaya Ayanai Koa Muya No Muya Se Muya Rupshin Makaumu Mandamyago Budo Mamu Daba Vitado Yodo Mamu Dabba Vitado Jansiro Mamu Dabba Vitado Bhagavado Esriya Dhamma Yasa Siri Kama Bieda Midwin Pono Choli Ne Bizondo Mu Dabba Vitado Sama Sambuddhasa Dukha Sajja Samudaya Sajja Maga Sajja Nirodha Sajja Uswado Sajja Liba Dugo Kodo Dandale Tu Twin Yui Limiendo Mudaba Vitado Tassa Dandi Sasa Logaranda Li Mundai Wile Mayui Mayan Josa Daingedo Kain Kando Dadi Gonili Bizondo Mudaba Vitado Tu Pono Choba the King, the Vinu Yaswa Paya Amagan, Diaho Bugu, Diana Bugu, Pija Gondo, Yona Napianga Kanda Go, Dunga the Mu Ajanudu A Namo, Diaho Diana Bian Quaye, Andere Genjin Hodo Diado Mei, Araha, Tapu Bao. အပြည့်ဆုံးသို့ရောက်ပါစေခြင်းအကျိုးငှာကိုယ်နှုတ်နှလုံးသုံးပါးပြောင်းပြော့မှန်ကိုလျော်၍ကတော်ရိုကျိုးလက်ဆုံမိုး၍ရှ िख ိုးမှန်လျှော့ကတော့ခြင်းသည်အထုဘဝတုစင်စစ်မသွေဖြစ်ပါစေတည်းမြတ်စွာဘုရားသာဓုသာဓုသာဓုသာဓု Sutta Nipada Pali Rahula Sutta. Venerable Rahula, at 7 years old, he was ordained as a Samanera under the Buddha Sasana. So since at the time, because he was very young, Buddha need to give the Dhamma talk with money to deliver Dhamma talk. Since 70 years old to until before he attained Arahantship. He was ordained 7 years old. After he ordained as a bhikkhu, 20 years old. After that only he attained Arahantship. Before he has attain arahantship, Buddha need to give many admonishment, many sutta. So for the Rahula, Buddha gave the sutta in the Sanyutta maybe around 22 sutta for Rahula since the time of the Samnera. So in this Rahula sutta, today this is the Dhammato that is called Abhena Yahulo Vara Sutta. Some sutta Buddha may give only occasionally, but this today the sutta, the name of Rahula Vara Sutta is quite very often Buddha admonished to Samanera Rahula. Because of this among many sutta for Rahula Samanera, this sutta called Abhena Yahulo Vara Sutta. So many times only this sutta Buddha admonished again and again. Because of this Abhena Rahulo Vada Sutta. Buddha gave admonishment with 8 paragraphs, 8 Pali verse. So today I will give more important part to understand for the meditator who join in this meditation retreat. Mede Bhaja Sukalayane Pandin Cha Saya Nasane Vivetan Abba Nigosan Madenu Hodi Bojane. The meaning is Mede Bhajasu Kalayani. 4 lines. Pantincha Saya Nasana Vivetan Abba Nigosan Madenu Hodi Bojane. Among the 4 lines, 1 paragraph, there we need to understand the first sentence. Mede Bhajasu Kalayani. So the meaning is, Rahula, in order to free from the cycle of rebirth, in order to free from suffering, we need to follow these instructions. Number 1, Mede Bhajasu Kalayani. Associate with a true friend and teachers. This one is very important. Previous talk also I have already mentioned Sutta Patisutta. There also Buddha mentioned in order to attain Sutta Pati fruition. So this number 1, association with the good friends, association with the superior person, that's very important. That is a Kalayana Metta. Good friends, good teacher, good father, good mother. So in order to be successful in our life, in order to successful education, in order to be successful the business, in order to be successful the true Dhamma. These the good friends, the Kalyana Metta, the good teachers, the good association, that is very important. Because of this, Buddha always admonish to have the good friends, a good association. In Mangala Sutta also, you may see, Asivana cha balana, Panditana cha sivana. Okay, we need to associate with the wise person. Because if we associate with a good friend, the wise person, we can get a lot of the knowledge from them. If we associate with a good teacher, we can have a lot of the good knowledge from the teachers. So the good friends. In the same way, if we want to realize Nibbana, this association also very important. Because of this, Buddha admonished to Venerable Rahula, Mede Bhajasu Kalayani. If you want to free from cycle of rebirth, you need to associate with the true friends and the teachers. So in Buddha time, You may know Mahadana cities. Mahadana city, they are very rich families. But because of association with the, how can I say, unknowledgeable the parents, we can say like that. Because of they are very rich, they're not supposed to their children, to their son, to study the education, how to maintain the business. They're not teaching to their son, although they are very rich. Because they think that because of they have a lot of properties, he no need to study the education. He can spend a lot of money. The whole life he cannot spend this all money. Because of this, he no need to study. If he go to study, he may tire. In order that they not support to their son to study the good education, for the good business, only for enjoyment, to play the music, the singing, like that also only they are supporting to teach. So after they become grow, so they are married with another ladies. So the another lady also, they are from very rich family. They also say their parents are they think that they are very rich because of very rich, 80 koti. So how can I say billionaire, millionaire? They are very rich person in India in Asian time. Because of this, from the ladies' side also, their parents are thinking by this way. Because of this, they are not supposed to their daughter to study the good education. So after their marriage, they are the richest person in the country. Because of this, the king also give them the title of the richest person in the countries. So later, because of they are not very knowledgeable, because of they are not enough knowledge, many people are cheating. Their mate also cheating their property. Slowly, they do not understand how to maintain their property. After their parents pass away, so their all property are finished. Because of this, later they need to sell their house. They become the beggar. At the time also they become already very old, very old age already. At the time they become the beggar. They ask the food, extra food from the monastery. After the bhikkhu relinquish the food, so they go to asking the food from the bhikkhus. By this way, so at the time they cannot do the business, they cannot study, already too old, maybe around 80 or 90 years old already, too old already. At the time only, the Buddha, they meet them, so Buddha smiling. So in this case, the son, Mahathera, they asking to the Buddha what happened. At the time Buddha mentioned about these two couples. So before they are very rich person in this country, now they already become poor and beggar, homeless. Okay, because of bad association. Bad association means if their parents have the good idea, okay, they can support the good way to maintain their property, their education. Now because of their wrong thinking ways, so they are absent with the good association, they become the poor people. Also, they miss the chance to attain arahata fruition. Surely the two couples already had the parami. The husband at the first stages of their life, if they enter to the Buddha Sasana, if they practice the Buddha teachings where they may attain, the husband may attain arahata fruition. The wife will attain anagami fruition. So if they work very well, if they do very well for their business in the first stages of their life, they may become the #1 richest person in these cities. So now because of they missed the chance, now they become the poor people, they also miss the chance of worldly happiness and religious happiness. So this association is very important. Because of this, in Sutta, Patti Sutta, Phala Sutta also Buddha mentioned the good association, the good teacher must be associated. Venerable Rahula also, Buddha mentioned about this. If we want to free from the suffering life, if we want to realize Nibbana, number one admonishment we need to follow. Mede Bajasu Kalayani Pantin Sa Saya Nasana Vivedan Abba Nikosan. So the second and the third lines what Buddha mentions. So need to approach, live in the secluded forest or monastery. That's also important. Because of this, in the Mahastribhana Sutta also the Buddha mentioned for the meditators. If you want to practice the meditation, if you have the individual time, you can approach the suitable place, go to the forest or go to the foot of the tree or go to the secluded place. We also encourage for the lay people, if they don't have the chance to go very far, at their home, if they want to practice, they can choose more suitable times. Important are more silence time. Any silence time is suitable to practice meditation, any samatha or vipassana meditation. Especially when you develop samadhi, samatha concentration, the environment is very important. Okay, for bhikkhu or samrira, so the Buddha more admonished to stay in the forest and monastery. So Venerable Rahula, Samira Rahula, Buddha also admonished to live in the secluded forest or monastery. That is the second and the third line. Matinyu Hoti Bhojane. That Pali was mentioned. Moderate in food, one receiving and consuming. So we need to balance suitable amount of the food. For the meditator, that is also very important. When you practice meditation, you need to balance everything. You need to balance your food. You need to balance the good weather place, suitable environment. So we need to balance everything to increase our concentration or wisdom knowledge. If you cannot balance the suitable amount of the food, so you will not easily to maintain your concentration. That's also important. I will give you one example. When we are staying in a pot, at the beginning we don't know what the food is suitable or not. Especially before meditation time, we need to very carefully. We need to be very careful. For example, when we are staying in a pot in the morning breakfast time, sometimes they offer the Milo, Ovaltine, like this one. So for those are very healthy and nutritious. Because of this, after drinking this one, so feel very sleepy. But for in the meditation center at the morning, sometimes especially in winter season, the time is very fast. The turn time also very delayed. After the breakfast, also the bear are running for meditation. So because of this, we don't have enough time. So for those days, if we drink such type of the Milo or Holy or for this drinking, feel very sleepy. At the beginning, I don't know. So because of drinking in meditation time, cannot focus very well. Next time, we need to understand, or for those who are not very okay in meditation time, although we like, we need to avoid. But in this way, we need to balance our food. The meditator, we need to understand, we need to moderate in the food one receiving and one we are consuming, one we are eating. That also important. Another paragraph, the Buddha admonished to Rahula, Chivari Pinda Padecha. Pichaye Saya Nasane, Ete Sudana Magasi, Malokam Puna Ragami. This paragraph mentions, so no attachment to the four requisites. For the bhikkhu samrira, we have the four requisites, meaning the food, the robes, the dwelling, the building, and medicine. So these are called 4 requisites. So not to have attachment to the 4 requisites. That's also important. These admonishments are not only for Bhikkhu Samnera. For lay people also, last night I already mentioned to our Myanmar audience about this. Although the Buddha admonished to Rahula, Samnera Rahula, for lay people also can follow these instructions. The meaning is when we are eating the food, when we are consuming the food, not to have attachment a lot in our eating food. Okay? Because of the good smelling, because of the good taste, okay? For the ordinary person may have attachment in the food. Actually, Buddha admonished about the food, ahari patigula senya, repulsive nature of the food. You can see, actually, before we are before we are eating, you may see the good color, the good smelling, good appearance. So when we are consuming inside our mouth, what will happen? We mix this food, we mix with the saliva, already become very repulsive in nature. After we are consumed, swallow inside our stomach, already changing. The color also changing, the smelling also changing. Later, this one will become the feces. Okay, some are maybe nutrition. Most of the things are become the feces. We need to know this is the condition. We should not have attachment in our food, in our clothes, in our place where we are staying, where we are using the medicine. Should not have attachment for those things. For lay people also need to be very careful about this. Need to make the reflections. Important are to balance our energy, not for attachment. For the clothes also say, for the bhikkhu, we have the robes. We should not have attachment in our robes. For lay people also say, so in the wearing, also you can use the properly, the wearing, properly clothes, properly sari. You can use anything you like, but should not have attachment in these clothes. Okay. In the same way, the place where we are staying, for bhikkhu, that's a monastery. We should not have attachment in the monastery. For lay people also should not have a lot of attachment in their place. So if you have a lot of attachment, what will happen? Before you are that moment, if you have attachment, if you have the attachment in your house, so you may become the ghost in your house. So what benefit for you? When we are alive times, okay, important are to be stay safety, not to have the suffer from the wind, from the sun, from the insect, from the many kinds of the unseen dangerous, to protest all the things, all the dangerous. Now we are staying in this place, in this house, in this monastery building. But this way we need to do reflection. For our bhikkhu and samnera always, every day, we need to make the reflection with the 4 requisites. That's called Pichaya Sanisita Sila. Pati Sankha Yoniso, Pena Padam Pati Sevami, Yawa Deva Neva Dhavaya, Namadhaya, Namantanaya, Navibhusanaya, Yawa Deva Imasa Kayasa Titiya, Yapanaya Vihin Suparatiya, Brahmachariya Nugahaya, Iti Puranancha Vedanam Padihangami, Navincha Vedana Naubadasami, Yadra Chame Boisadi, Anavajata Cha Pasu, Viharocha. Okay, when we are consuming the food, we need to do reflection, not for beauty, so not for sexual enjoyment. Okay, in order to practice the Buddha teaching very well, brahmacharya, in order to realize the nibbana, to practice only we are consuming the food. But this way, bhikkhu samnera need to do reflection. For the lay people, although exactly detail cannot refresh as the bhikkhus. Also important are not to have a lot of attachment in the food. This craving made suffering, everything. Because of this, all the food requisite, we should not have attachment. What you like, you can use. So this admonishment Buddha gave to the Samrira Rahula. Another is Buddha mentioned about morality. Samudho Pandi Mokha Sami Indriye Susa Penchasu Sati Kaya Gata Tatu Nibida Bahulo Bhava. This Pali is mentioned to observe morality for the Bhikkhu Patimokkha restraint. For lay people, at least for morality, in order to purify morality, need to observe 5 precepts, or 8 precepts, or Ajiva Tamaka Sila. Some maybe 10 precepts you can observe to purify the morality. And also Buddha mentioned another is to control the sense too, in order to protect from the defilements. Defilements not to arise, need to control the sense too, in order to the enemies of the defilement not to enter easily. For example, if we not control 5 controlling faculty, eye, sense to, ear to, nose to, tongue to, body to, we should be mindfully. For example, when you see the object, you may see the good or the bad object. If you are not mindfully, because you are seeing, if you are not wise attention, so unwholesome mind will be arise because you are idle when you see the object. So in order to maintain the defilements not to arise easily, we need to be mindfully when we are seeing, when we are hearing, when we are smelling, when we are eating. So if you have the mindfully in your meditation object, although you are seeing, you may not have the greed or you may not have the hatred because you are the idols. So we need to be mindful about this to control the sense, the two. If you are not control, so unwholesome mind will arise. This unwholesome will support to you to reborn in the woeful range. Because of this, especially before the third moment, we need to be very careful. Okay, because of this, we need to train ourselves always to pay attention to the wholesome object easily, to thinking easily, to thinking wisely. That's a very important. Before the third moment, your mind may not be steady because you're already very weak. If you don't have the Dhamma teaching, you may have a lot of attachment to their place, to your family. Because of this attachment mind will cause to you to be reborn in the woeful range. At least you may become the beta lives. Because of this, we need to control these, the sense tools, not to arise the defilements. Buddha admonished to Venerable Rahula. After observing morality, that's also included in the morality, Indriya Samvara Sila. Parisodhi, Patimokkha Samvara Sila, Indriya Samvara Sila, Ajiva, Parisodhi Sila, Pichya Sandhi Siddha Sila. And that also has the morality, this morality stage. Buddha admonished to Venerable Rahula. After observing morality, Buddha admonished to develop the concentration. How to admonish? Sati Kaya Kata Tatu Nebida Bahulo Bhava. Sati Kaya Kata Tatu means discerning the disenchantment to these bodies. For example, in our body, they have 32 parts of the body. Head hair, body hair, nail, teeth, skin. Previous tomato I have already mentioned about it. We need to discern repulsive natures of 32 parts of the body. So if you discern 32 parts of the body in your body, you can remove the lust, you can remove the attachment, you can remove the perception of the beauty in our body. Actually, our body, our head here, if you discern very clearly, there is a repulsive natures. All they have a lot of impurity in our head hair, body hair, the nail teeth. Because of this, since the morning, when you wake up, you need to wash your brush. You need to brush already. One, they have many impurity. You need to clean your body. You need to wash your hair. You need to do a lot of maintenance because in our body they have a lot of impurity. We need to discern this impurity, the natures of our body, repulsiveness, to removing the perception of the beauty. If you can remove by this way, you may not have attachment in the different part of the body. You can free from these craving because you have these perceptions. For Bhikkhu Samrita, we need to move to refreshing about 32 parts of the body, internally and externally. Buddha also admonished in the Mahastipana Sutta to discern these 32 parts of the body, repulsive natures. For samatha meditation, that is called Kaya Kata Sati. Buddha admonished to Venerable Rahula, Samrita Rahula, because he's still young. Okay, he may thinking about sexual enjoyment. Actually, if he stay in the palace with his grandfathers, he can be universal monist. Universal monist. So now he already ordained, although he ordained because he's still young, not to have a lot of attachment in his body, not to thinking about the sexual enjoyment. Buddha need to give this admonishment to Venerable Rahula. Firstly, to observe the morality, to control the sense door, and also to discern this gentleman of to his body. By this way, he may not have attachment, he can practice very well. For meditator also now, although you are in the household lives, especially in the meditation time, if you can do this refreshing, you can remove a lot of attachment in your body, internally and externally. Because of removing the lust of the attachment, you will get a lot of happiness. This is also helpful, not only for Bhikkhu or Samrita, for lay people also these admonishments are very useful. After developing concentration, for Rahula, Venerable Rahula, Buddha gave the instruction to develop 32 parts of the body, Kaya Kata Sati, concentration, and they attain access concentration or absorption concentration. So, Nimitam Parivijehi, Subhan Raguba Senidam, Asubaya Chedam Bhavehi, Ekakansu Samahidam. Okay, to develop concentration. So, until which level need to try to develop the concentration? Ekakansu Samahidam. Access concentration or absorption concentration. Need to develop concentration for Rahula with 32 parts of the body, Kaya Kata Sati, until to attain access concentration or the first jhana concentration. I have already explained about this. If you develop this 32 part of the body, repulsive nature, at least get done repulsive meditation. If you develop internal body as a repulsive, you may attain first jhana concentration. External body, you may attain access concentration, upachara samadhi. If you practice anapana meditation now, most of the yogi, they start to practice anapana. This anapana also can attain first jhana to fourth jhana concentration. At least In order to purify consciousness, need to develop concentration to attain assess concentration, upachara samadhi. After developing concentration, what we need to do, what should we practice again? At the time, Buddha admonished to Venerable Rahula, Samnira Rahula. Ani metin cha bawehi, mana nusaya mojaha, tato mana bi samaya, upa sando bawesati. The meaning is, after developing concentration, contemplating the ultimate realities as impermanent, suffering, and non-self, called the divide of the signs. Divide all the signs. So to remove nesa, the perception of permanent, we need to discern impermanence. Impermanence of mentality or impermanence natures of mentality and materiality. I have already explained, if we want to practice vipassana, there are two types of vipassana meditation. To understand, I will show you meditation chart. At the time you can understand more clearly. Okay, now you may see this. When you practice vipassana, there are two objects of vipassana meditation. Firstly, you need to discern mentality, materiality. In order to purify our view, ditthi visuddhi, you need to discern nama and rupa, 5 clinging aggregate. To understand the first noble truth, the noble truth of suffering, dukkha, satya, we need to discern mentality, materiality. That is also vipassana meditation, the object of vipassana meditation. After discerning mentality and materiality, in order to purify our dark, we need to practice dependent origination. That's called paticca samuppada. Another is, in order to purify our view, we need to discern called apprehending knowledge, pichaya parikaha jnana. These two knowledges are the object of vipassana meditation. In order to understand what's the cause of 5 aggregate, we need to discern these number 4. Here for the knowledge, you can see pichaya parikaha jnana, the cause of the 5 aggregate. The cause and the effect. Because of the cause is the wholesome or unwholesome, the cause in past life. In order to reborn in the human life, the cause is maybe wholesome karma. These all wholesome karma associated with the craving and clinging, these are also impermanence nature, suffering nature, non-self nature. In the FS mentality, materiality, 5 causes, 5 aggregate, that are also impermanence nature, rising and perishing nature, all are impermanence, all are suffering nature, all are non-self natures. So in this, the sutta, Buddha admonished to Venerable Rahula, after developing concentration with 32 parts of the body, you need to discern, you need to contemplate the ultimate realities as impermanent, suffering, and non-self, called devote of the signs. Anime dencha bawehi mana nusaya mojaha tato mana bisamaya upasando bawesati. So if you make the contemplation, if you contemplate impermanence nature, suffering natures, non-self nature of mentality, material, their causes, so your vipassana knowledge will become mature. You may see in there 16 knowledges of vipassana meditation in order to realize nibbana. The nibbana also, that's the 4 ultimate realities. There are 4 ultimate realities Number one is Chitta, consciousness. Chittasika, Mantafata. Rupa, materiality. That's our called ultimate realities. In order to realize Nibbana, number 4, ultimate realities, we need to understand the first, the second, and the third. Consciousness, Mantafata, and materiality. So if we combine mentality and materiality, those are the two ultimate realities and their causes. After you understand this, you need to do contemplative, you need to contemplate vipassana. Impermanence nature, suffering nature, non-self natures of these mentality, materiality, and their causes. So if you contemplate by this way, your vipassana knowledge will become mature. If your vipassana knowledge become mature, mana nusaya mozaha, you can remove the mana. So you can remove the craving. Okay, you can realize Nibbana. Because of this, Buddha admonished to the Venerable Rahula this sutta. This sutta is called Abhena Yahulo Vada Sutta. So, because of the Buddha admonished always this sutta, Venerable Rahula also, he practiced very well since the 7 years old until he became the bhikkhu life. After he had ordained as a bhikkhu, he attained arahantship. Because of this, for all devotee, all the listener, or the meditator also need to follow the Buddha instruction according to the Rahula Sutta, Abhena Rahula Vara Sutta. After you understand about the Buddha teaching theory, you can practice practically morality, concentration, and Western knowledges. If you try these 3-4 training continuously, step by step, one day you may free from samsara. You may free from suffering. You may realize Nibbana. May all you be follow the Buddha teaching step by step, Sila Samadhi Panya, until to realize Nibbana very soon. Do you have any question?
Okay. प्रश्न आहे का कोणाला?
Do you have any question?
I think there's no question, Bante.
No question. Okay, no question. You can continue.
Okay, Bante.
Can continue to practice. Practice will make the perfect.
Bante,
okay, I will make the conclusion.
Yes.
I will recite the Jaya Mangala Katha. In order to be successful in your society, in your meditation, the Dhamma, in order to realize Nibbana. I will recite Jaya Mangala Katha. After that, we do the shared merit. Jayando Bodhiya Mule Sajana Nandi Vodano Iwa Mewa Jayo Hodu Jaya Su Jaya Mangali Sajana Sagi Weme Myodo I Nandi Vodano Sinalongo Shwembyo Zede Dayamyadi Bodhiya Bodhi Ben I Mule Nida Quim Shadi Aparajita Balentanai Jayando Mangabago Aumien Lebi Dagedo Eva Mewa Ewan Data Pamata Yutu Adu Dedomagan on Sidi Mudago the Kim Paya Shengo Chile Yunu Shiu Banja then break the Bondro Gondo A Jayo Jadi King Piezoja Jendi Hodu Ocha Madri Pibavi Jaya Mangale Piyan Shang Kwa Aung Yin Shinga Mingala Jo Dedoma Gan Sidi Munugo the Kim Paya Shingo Chile Yunu Shiu Panja then break the Bondro Gondo A Jaya su jadirago nizindu yue, kaunju pisi, omnien naija vasi kondadi. Sadhu, 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 sadhu. Do share in merit. Huh? Today you have already accumulated many wholesome kusala merit. Huh? Charity, morality, meditation, volunteer service. Because of these wholesome marriage, may this wholesome kusala marriage be the main cause to realize Nibbana. In order that we do sharing merit, all of be out of me. Eta varacha ambehi
Etavadacha mehi
sampadam punya sampadam
sampadam punya sampada
sabbe deva anumodantu
sabbe deva anumodantu
sabbe buddha anumodantu
sabbe bhuta anumodantu
sabbe saddha anumodantu
sabbe sattva anumodantu
sabba sampatti siddhiya
sabba sampatti siddhiya
idhamme punya
idan me punyam
asavakhayam
asavakaya
vahang hotu
vahang hotu
idhamme punya
idan me punyam
nibbanasa
nibbanasa
pachayo hotu
pachayo hotu
mama punya bhagam
mama punya bhaga
sabba saddhana
sabba saddhanam
pachimi
bhajemi
te sabbe
te sabbe
me sama
te samma
punya bhagam
punya bhaga
labantu
vantu
sadhu sadhu sadhu.
sadhu sadhu sadhu. Thank you, Bante. Thank you very much for
Thank you. Thank you, Bhante.
precious time.
Okay, sukhi hotu.